Chloe ran all the way from London in the UK. Welcome along. And today we're going to talk about energy and energy changing and energy transfer and energy healing. One of the great kind of new holistic, awesome phenomenons that are kind of taking the world by storm. And I do know that as you're in London, we're in Australia, and there are hospitals, major hospitals in Australia now, run by the pharmaceutical industry, by big pharma and so on, and the medical world, and they actually have Reiki healing rooms
They do?
in major hospitals.
Wow.
So,
Okay, so we need to bring that to London.
so it's really
Wow,
taking
that's
off, right?
amazing. Amazing. Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here to have this conversation with you.
And tell us what is, for the uninitiated or even the
Mhm.
experienced and people who've heard of Reiki before, and even people who understand Reiki. What is Reiki about? And I do know that you are certified Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. So you'll be able to explain that. And I love the way that you explain things and you tap into energy in the quantum field.
What is Reiki? Reiki is a hands-on healing, holistic healing that works with the body, the mind, and the soul in order to cleanse and purge any blocked emotions, physical emotions, that could also manifest eventually as any illnesses, any diseases, any anxieties, any depressions. Ultimately, Reiki, we open up and we activate your chakras, allowing the energy to flow. How I like to visualize this is within our body, we have streams, rivers of energy. And just like a river, if there is a massive stone in the middle of the way, the energy, the water can't flow around it efficiently. So, what Reiki does is we target these blockages, we remove them energetically so your energy can streamline and flow efficiently.
Wow. What is the soul?
The
You said,
soul.
yes, you said
Oh,
it aligns body, mind, and soul. And I'm just
oh.
wondering, what is the soul as you see it? What is that? Because you said all three. So that intrigues me right there.
Yeah, so the soul for me, relative to me and my experience, the soul is your inner fire, your inner light. It is the part of you that you channel into this body. It is the part of you that wants to experience, to express. It's the part of you that wants to showcase all of your talents and skills to the world. It is your connectivity to source. It is a fragment from the whole. I like to envision it as. We're all from singularity and we're all fragmented off. Your soul's just a little sliver of the whole of oneness. And I like to say that you're not a drop in the ocean, you're the entire ocean in a drop in your own specific manifestation of that.
I love your explanation about the rock and moving energy around the rock. And that's going to bring us into chakras. And I know that you love talking about chakras. So tell us about chakras. Relate that then to this rock, this blockage that people has or have, and multiple blocks that people may have. And then how you then, as a Reiki practitioner, move that energy and shift that energy around that rock. Tell us a little bit about that.
Wonderful. So the chakras, we have seven main chakras in our human body. These are hormone centers from the root all the way up to the crown. Now, these chakras are spinning wheels of energy that can get blocked. And when they are blocked, they do not move efficiently. They move quite slowly. A lot of people are actually stuck within the lower energy centers and unable to let the energy flow up to the higher chakras, which is our more connectivity to our heart and to spirit and to love and to light. So just like a river with a rock in the middle, our chakras become blocked. Now, what blocks our chakras? Any unprocessed emotions, any unhealed traumas, any fears, any negativities, bad habits. So, eating lots of unhealthy foods, alcohol, drugs. Now, what happens is these chakras are very slow and very dense. So, what Reiki does is it opens up these chakras, opens up your own natural healing abilities for the energy to sort of cleanse and purge each chakra, releasing the blockages. Now, how that manifests for me is I will focus on a specific area because we know that energy flows where attention goes. And with the power of intention and belief and visualization and manipulating of energy, we can get through any blockages, emotional or physical. I will always say as well, after your session, you might feel a little worse before you feel better. That is because, as we know, when it comes to healing, that in order to heal, to bring things out of the darkness into the light of consciousness, we have to go and get them, we have to look at them, we have to feel, we have to process unprocessed emotions, and we have to let them flow through. So in the flowing through, you can feel a little bit anxious, a little bit emotional. So it's really important to look after yourself and to care for yourself after your session.
So you're saying that your light is in your darkness? Is that what you're saying? The light shines from within the darkness. You're just removing the blockage of the darkness to let the light shine?
Absolutely. The darkness is where the light can get through. The darkness is everything. The only way that you can really truly step into your light, into your power, is to go into the darkness. How else can light shine?
And, you know, it's one of the things that we say to people who want to be light shiners and light givers and light bearers and light workers is that to be a light worker, to be a light sharer, to share the light with people, you have to be surrounded by darkness. So what we do, you and I, requires us by the laws of nature to be surrounded by people who carry their darkness. And people feel that, you know, in their emotions, in their state of being and who they are. People feel that there's dark people around them. And then
Mhm.
healers who want to get into the healing world can never complain about darkness and dark people because it is the very people that give them their ability for their light to shine, because your light can't shine unless you're in the darkness.
Can't have one without the other. The dance of
Kind of
polarity.
yin yang, right? Absolutely. The law of polarization, the law of thermodynamics. You can't have good energy without bad energy. You can't have
Mhm.
energy without missing energy. So, a lot about that. You talked a moment ago about shifting energies and shifting emotions and moving them through the body and energy shifting and whatever. So the consequence then of emotions on the body.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
therefore, can a toxic relationship block an energy center that needs energy shifted and moved?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how I like to see it is, especially in toxic relationships, they can block your energy set, especially your communication. So, for example, if you are with, and I also have in my past been in more relationships with people that show narcissistic tendencies, especially relative to me, because I went through my life, I was bullied as a child and throughout high school. And in this, you then manifest and attract the belief systems that you have within, conditioned within your subconscious mind. So, how this works energetically is if you're with someone who does not see you, who does not mirror you, who does not allow your energy to flow, if you were with someone who can't hear your voice and you were with someone who doesn't want to hear how you communicate or your feelings, that can then manifest as blocking you, physically blocking you from expressing your truth. And then that will cause the chakras to be a lot slower, a lot denser, and for you not to shine as brightly as you can.
So there's so many like toxic experiences that people have and so many reasons that these energy centers can be blocked. So you're kind of a balancer, I suppose, in a sense of energy centers, the seven main energy centers in the body. You balance those out.
Absolutely. Well, again, I say I balance them. I will always say a healer doesn't heal as such. You heal. Your body does all the healing. The body is incredible in the way in which it can heal. But what I like to say a healer is the healer offers the vibration of the healed state. And then you, and especially if we are all sort of satellite dishes, we've been attuned to a specific frequency. And in doing so, we're able to channel in that specific frequency, opening up your chakras, opening up your own healing abilities. So you do the healing. I'm just a catalyst. I'm just the messenger.
So if energy is influenced at a distance, which is
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
and we know that, so energy is kind of this, has its own consciousness, it has its own absolute defined intelligence. Energy is the fabric of the universe. It's called the unified field. And the unified field, which gives existence to all of life, sits at the foundation of all reality. All the universe, all the planets, all the people, all the things, all the cars, all the dogs, all the cats, everything sits at this basis here. And this is a intelligent field of energy. And this field of energy is made from a fabric. They call it vector and linear space, the same fabric that thought is made from. So we live in a thought universe, all knowing, all aware, all intelligent, all capable. And when we think and move our energy through this field of energy that we think we're separate from, we're not. this field of energy called the unified field that gives life to all of the universe. We're not on the outside looking in. We are swimming in the middle of this eternal field of energy that was always here and will always be here. In the absence of the universe, that field of energy is itself eternity and is moving and communicates and smart and intelligent. And Einstein died trying to work this field out because he called it spooky action at a distance, which is kind of a science now that's kind of evolving called interconnectedness. How energy in one field can be shifted or shift or influence energy in a similar field on the other side of the planet at a distance. And Einstein knew it. He said, we can shift the energy of a particle over here, and its complementary opposite on the other side of the planet will move in accordance with this here. And he died mathematically trying to figure that out. So, how do you work as a remote Reiki healer? How does that look like? What does that look like?
Yes. So, as I said before, energy flows where attention goes. And we look pretty solid, don't we? But if you get a microscope and you zoom in, we're just vibrating atoms, we're just energy. Well, everything is energy, as you beautifully said. So, as we live within this field, this quantum field, which we are not separate from, we are one with. And I like to think of it as, well, science has explained this through quantum entanglement, that two particles that have communicated together at one point, if they're sent to different parts of the galaxy or different parts of the world, they can still replicate and mirror one another, no matter where they are. And I like to think of it as, because we are all singularity and we're fragments from that, and because we are also interconnected, that energy is outside of time and space. We are in time and space. We experience linearly through time and space. However, energy is all-knowing or omniscient. And with the power of our thoughts, visualizations, and intentions, that's how we can shift energy. So, for example, for me, working with someone remotely via Zoom, I like to envision with my, again, I've been able to train my brain pretty well to be very present and to channeling quite a lot of energy to work through people's chakras in front of me. And you know what? Like, no matter the science behind it, it always comes back to me that it is magic. It always is that feeling of magic that I can still, someone in Australia could be receiving healing, but I can feel via my hands their breath and their heartbeat. I can feel the energy of their body. I can sometimes see visions of them and visions of like their memories, different life, things like that need to be healed, that are coming up energetically. And for me, it's like, we can talk about the science all day, but to the human mind, it's always going to be magic.
Wow, very powerful stuff. Now, as a Think and Grow education endorsed Reiki practitioner, what type of people come to you and should come to you? You know, what type of condition would one of our clients and students have to want to book a Reiki healing distance session with you? Give me like the top conditions that people should come to you with that you can really, really shift something for them.
Yeah, for me, it's people who want to connect back to themselves. They want to release and heal anything that is preventing them from stepping into their authenticity, whether that's via the past. We are experiencing now as a human consciousness that things are changing, people are waking up, which means people are remembering things and their darkness is coming through. So anyone who is looking to heal, looking to step into their highest, truest potentiality, physically, especially if they have physical ailments as well. I work a lot closely with a lot of physical ailments. So one of my clients has cancer, for example. And again, it's not the focusing on the illness. Instead, it's the focusing on, right, how is your energy in disharmony here? How can we harmonize and balance your energy so your body can begin healing itself? So I'm open to anyone who's got the intention and the belief that they can be more than who they are now, and the belief that they no longer want their past to dictate their future. Instead, we shift, we flow, and we evolve.
Thanks, Chloe. You talked about earlier at the start when we start chatting away, you talked about people eating the wrong food, eating toxic food.
Yes.
Okay. let's say, for example, my understanding of somebody eating toxic food is that they're finding externally an emotion to satisfy something internally that internally they haven't been able to connect with to satisfy. So they need the outside stimulus to make them feel happy about the things they know they're sad about. Right.
Absolutely.
So, with that said, then, if somebody does have an eating disorder or they
Mhm.
overeat, whatever, and they're eating beyond nature, in other words, they're eating things that they know nature doesn't want them to eat, and then it's
Mhm.
causing them those difficulties. That would mean then, if that is emotional, which it is, that would mean then there's an energy center block somewhere within them. Have you ever dealt with that? Have you ever thought about dealing with that?
Yes, absolutely. So, people with eating disorders or people who look to satisfy parts of themselves by overindulging, that is usually an imbalance within the chakras because you are looking to fill something without. So ultimately, yes, Reiki will help you with that because it will bring you back into yourself, aligning your chakras, allowing you to feel filled within. So you do not need to look for external validation and you don't need to fill yourself via the outside world.
So people coming to you with a disorder, an eating disorder, then how does that look like? What would you be putting them through? What should they expect when they come to you remotely from whatever part of the world they live in?
Absolutely. So, a Reiki session with me, I have two offerings. I have a 60-minute and a 90-minute. This is via Zoom. The 90-minute, we just go a little bit deeper. Initially, the session will start with a consultation, perhaps 5-10 minutes, where we will discuss anything you wish to bring to my attention. I can explain a little bit about what Reiki is. So, for example, if we have someone with an eating disorder who is looking to balance your energy centers and to not go to food, instead go within, I would then get you to lie down, get you to relax. And I always say it's very general in this sense because this part of the session is more intuitive as I move through your chakras. So, for example, someone with an eating disorder, perhaps they are more in their root, in their ego, in their needing to look outside of themselves, their denser energy. So, I would probably spend more time down on the lower chakras in the hope that we can clear some of those blockages and the energy can flow upwards. So, this part of the session will be again very intuitive, and then at the end what we'll do is we'll have another 5 to 10 minutes and we'll discuss what came up and any guidance moving forward specifically, because after we have sort of activated these energy centers a lot of things can come up. I'll also send an email right up at the end of the session so you can read through that and you have time to process it as well. And I'm always here for any questions, so like afterwards if you're feeling a certain way, you can always come back to me and I can help guide you through that.
So then, as an energy worker, Chloe, and bodies are energy and people are bodies, and because people are bodies and they are energy, you can navigate that energy around the body. So really, outside of eating disorders, it doesn't matter what the condition is, as long as they feel that something is quite not quite right, they can come to you. And through discovery, then through conversing with them, you can find the source of what it is that isn't quite right and really move and shift that. And that's why people feel the effect from the work that you're doing. Is that the way that that works?
Absolutely, yes. So, like we've said in this entire conversation, we are all energy. And yes, that manifests in different forms, in different illnesses, in different ways, connected to different chakras. But ultimately, we are all energy and it can all be shifted. Reiki is the universal life force energy that knows no bounds. So, no matter who you are or what you are experiencing, Reiki can heal and will heal if you are open to it.
Right. And we're happy and proud to say that Chloe Ran, you're found on our hub. So you can go to the hub, people can engage with you, they can book their session with you, they will access your calendar, they will choose their time, and then they can start on this great, awesome, brilliant, beautiful journey with you.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to be part of your team as well.
Great. Thanks, Chloe. Thanks for being here. And I'm sure there's lots of people very, very keen now to connect with you. And I can't wait for you to tell me, Chloe, their story. And I can't wait for you now, as you book with Chloe, to send your message back to us, telling us about your experience with Chloe and what you've got out of that. So thanks for being here. And we look forward to being a real life changer.
Thanks, Ray.